everyone. Welcome to Loki Season 2, Episode 1 review. Spoiler alert, might be really quick. And I couldn't do this alone. I didn't even want to watch this series. I hated the first series of Loki. I have to do it for Friday Night Tights. Go yourself, Gary. So I needed to enlist some help. And with Jane Theory being out of action for a little bit in the real world, I kind of knocked on the door of the only person I knew who I thought was up to the task. But they were busy. So unfortunately, I had to call Paul Chato instead. Mr. Chato, how are you doing?
I'm good. It wasn't up to the task. It was staying up till 9.
Yeah, well, yes, it was staying awake during the show.
Yes.
But they just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. I go to bed at 7, you know. No, I stay up later than that. Because I've got all the hookers that I've got to get through, you know.
Me too, but they're lying on the floor and I need to
Why waste all that
I need to get them in the
Viagra,
dumpster and I just can't be asked chopping them up. It's like a Facebook relationship status. It's complicated.
Isn't that what Sabine kept telling Ezra? It's complicated.
I think Sabine I think Sabine is the only person I can imagine that would go from one galaxy to another to find the friend who maybe she has more feelings for than she thought, where she would betray a whole galaxy in an effort to reunite with them, to say, you're right.
That's right. I just put it down to typical chick, you know.
Oh, cock-teasing cow!
Yes.
Ezra must have been like, oh my God, I've been here for 10 years, stranded. And here comes Sabine looking for me, the girl who I had a crush on, the girl who I thought, nah, it's never going to happen, found a way to travel to another galaxy to bring me back because she wants me. And no, not really. We can't have a love and a relationship in between a man and a woman in Disney.
No, I could have, even just a bit of tongue would have been nice.
Look, just one finger.
Yeah, just one. Yeah.
Not even go for the three, the trifecta. Just
feel her up a bit. I mean, for God's sakes, dude,
just a gross touch.
Yeah. What's her name in the theater in the United States? You know, when they were the senator. Anyway, let's talk about Loki.
By the way, if she wants a first date with me, I'm up for it.
You know, dude, as crazy as she is, she looks pretty hot, I have to say.
Sure. I mean, but I would rather have my dick rubbed than watch opera, but
well, yeah.
just a preference. That's all.
I wonder if there's an opera called The Rubbing of the Dick. It'd be in a German or Italian, right?
I scrabble a booba! That's what it would be called. You'd be like, whoa.
Mozart says, I want to do something different. I don't want to do something Italian. I want to do the great German opera, Rubbing of the Dick.
Rubbing the phallus.
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 Is that in German? Phallus?
I don't know. It could be in German, French.
Loki. Speaking of rubbing of phallus.
Oh, Loki. What a great show.
It was okay.
It was not offensive.
Yeah.
That's a compliment, believe it or not.
I got the feeling that they were trying to calm down what they did in season 1, which was just a pastiche of nonsense. Like I said, I think they're trying to do a Douglas Adams, Dirk Diggly holistic detective on it.
Yes, there is clearly a concept of time in the TVA. Right. Even if some people can't remember it, other people clearly are going through passages of time, refer to it as passages of time and not passages of current, not present, but current.
Right.
which
And
is
that
technically what the
revelation,
TVA should be.
the problem is that revelation completely removes any need to watch the show.
Well, the fact that it's from Disney removes any, but that's just by the by.
Yeah, that's right. I like the Fifth Element start to this episode where he jumps out the window, lands on the taxi.
Oh, I thought Attack of the Clones.
Oh, there's that happens all the time. And we also got that in the most recent Ahsoka for no good goddamn reason. They jump off the edge of the that one pillar thing, and then suddenly there's Wa Yang or Yu Yang or whatever.
Yeah.
Hu Yang, I mean, he's there and was never set up. They didn't call ahead of time. And
No.
you know what? Sorry to jump into Ahsoka, but I love the fact that Thrawn could not hit the side of a barn with his Star Destroyer, could not kill any of the good guys, but once he showers that plateau with his lasers, he kills all his own people.
Thrawn is
how do you kill your own people and miss all the good guys?
Well, he's just the epitome of incompetence.
Yes.
Everything. Yes, I just lost two battalions of troops. Acceptable losses because it's bought us the time we need to escape. Next episode, we don't have the necessary time to escape. So could we sacrifice some more things, please? Here, have a couple of TIE fighters. Just let them run into you. Here, newly crowned witch who was already a witch. Anyway, newly crowned witch, you can cough and die as well. And I'm going to go to space and link with the hyperdrive circle so you can buzz off. No, I'm going to bring the wheel down. Here, you can bring. Why are you bringing the Eye of Sauron down? Why aren't you going up to the Eye of Sauron?
Now, one person mentioned that they brought the cock ring down to the planet.
Yeah,
the hyper cock ring was because the Star Destroyer was so beat up that it did not have the power to go into space. So they had to bring it down.
Sorry. Did they write the show?
No.
Right. Okay. Was that ever set up in the show?
No.
Right. So they're full of shit.
That was a hypothesis.
Look, I have had quite a few people come at me, brah. Come at me with their own story they wrote in their head. Their own head. Their own. Oh no, this happened because this. That wasn't set up. Wasn't set up. They never did that. Nope. You are literally writing this to patch what was terrible. Loki, sorry. Back to Loki. Great show. Anyways, going back to Ahsoka.
So no. We need to. Let's do Loki. So they had the Fifth Element opening where the taxi crashes through the window, and then he's in the past, and then he zips to the future. And I think they're trying to correct all of this. One, they need to get rid of John Major. One, and I did read that for the most part, the directing crew, the writing crew are all changed, except for maybe one person. Everyone's been removed from this show,
yes, including the showrunner.
And even though this show was kind of slowish, I got a different vibe from it from the first season that I'm feeling kind of positive about. Partly because what's his name in that? Sorry, I can't remember his name. The guy who won the Academy Award is now. The
his
guy.
name is Short Round or Ouroboros, whichever one, Ouroboros or Short Round.
Short Round,
yeah.
That's the amount of gravitas we give him for winning the Academy Award. We can't even remember his real name. Anyway, so. You've got some fantastic performances from some very talented people. And when Luke went out in that weird ass suit to try to connect the threads, I thought that was hilarious. I mean, that is the dumbest suit in the world and right out of a Douglas Adams.
Yeah. I was thinking Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy at that point. Yeah.
To me, it was right. Hitchhikers. And if they go total hitchhikers, then I think it's going to be okay. But they got to get rid of Mrs. Loki. I mean,
that was what I was just about to say to unfortunately shoot you down because This episode to me, I thought Tom Hiddleston was fine.
Yep.
Owen Wilson, I think, is fine. I think that both of them are very likable people. Ouroboros, short round, very likable person.
Yep.
Very likable people, very capable actors, all of them, because Everything Everywhere All at Once was my favorite film of last year. That was my pick for favorite film. He was superb in it. They're all capable, and they don't really have anything of worth to really do. There was stuff that sort of happened, but the end of the episode to me was very indicative of what's to come. It felt like the episode suddenly became set up for the real hero at the end, which is Sylvie.
I hope not.
That's what it felt like to me. Because after we go through this business with the time slipping, we suddenly get not a lot of Tom Hiddleston for a long time. But what we do get for a long period of time is women talking to each other in a meeting room. That's all we got. And she didn't have a titty out, which she did in Game of Thrones. She's got a nice rack. I'm just saying.
Oh.
But the theory was that she's actually older Sylvie. But now that we see where she's been cast, it doesn't look like she's going to be an older version of Sylvie. But this might actually prove this lady, whose name I have no idea of, in the show, I mean, because I don't care. And the show didn't really make me care, is most likely going to be an antagonist during the show.
Well, yeah, they had her secreting a whole bunch of soldiers into some other dimension at the end of the show. So that's a mystery now. That's a mystery box.
Of course.
We don't know what that's about.
Probably the writers don't at this point either. But
they got to calm down the whole notion that the big bad guy, who they got to get rid of, him. They got to remove him from the story, because then no one has any real agency. Like, what are they doing? What's the point?
Well, I mean, not theoretically. Actually, they are now writing their own future.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Right. This is the weird thing for me. The show tried to set this episode tried to set up something which just wasn't reality. No sort of puns intended there, because Loki is trying to act scared about Kang. Kang, who we've seen defeated twice already.
Right.
And he's trying to set up Kang as this is the guy who can wipe out everything. Well, we've seen him killed in Loki, and we've seen him killed in Ant-Man. So, not the greatest threat so far when you've killed your main bad guy. Yes, there's millions of them now available to do shenanigans. But are we gonna get millions? No, we're gonna get one or two.
You know what? He should team up with Thrawn. I mean, if they're both useless bad guys that can't do anything, that would be a great team up.
Maybe that's why he's been defeated twice already. Maybe Thrawn is his Grand Admiral. And when another Kang went to Thrawn and said, "We've had two defeated," Thrawn went, "Acceptable losses."
That's right. That's right.
Really?
Oh God. Yeah. Anyways, I like the vibe of this episode. It just I'm more positive about what's going to happen here on in than I was during the first season, which really pissed me off, because they needed Loki, because they needed Loki's Asgardian capabilities, and then they ditched that really quickly. That doesn't exist here, which I think is really problematic. He's just a dude. What is it about?
He's still half god, demigod, whatever you want to call it. He's still very, very strong, very quick, allegedly.
But how is this affecting the story? I mean,
in no way, shape, or form. I mean,
that's a problem.
You see, things which what concerned me greatly was there is a scene between Owen Wilson and Loki where they talk about how women have kicked their asses they've lost fights to women. Oh, how did it get on with the fight with other Loki woman, with Sylvie? Oh, it was a draw. Well, not really, no. You got your ass kicked because she kicked you through a door. Did you kick her through a time door? No. Oh, but okay. And it's just like, well you know, but oh, don't worry. I got my face kicked in by that red whatever woman who was dog shit in the last series. So I'm just like, oh, this is horrific. This is Disney not being able to help themselves, having to cram in their girl power, girl boss, intersectionality bullshit. Even when a woman's not in the scene, they have to make it about a woman being better than the guys. And
that's interesting.
And that doesn't bode well for me. It doesn't bode well for me at all when you have that sort of conversation in your show.
You know what? If it was just Owen and Loki as a time tripping duo, that would be really fun.
Could be, because they're both very good comedically.
Oh, Owen was fantastic in that stupid suit, and then there's a crack on the windshield. I'll just tape it.
Tape, yeah.
That was a great. I laughed. It was, and the suit was funny. Owen was funny inside it, but Loki's got to get back his powers, or he's just not very helpful at all, and he's not very Loki. What happened? He's the god of mischief.
Well, he's the god of vegans right now. You know, he's looking like he's lost a lot of weight since we've seen him last. I mean, good effort putting yourself in good shape and all that, but I don't find Loki. I mean, Loki was such a great threat.
Oh, fantastic.
Regardless of whether or not he was on his redemption arc or not, there was always a spark. You always felt there was a switch there. And I just don't get it from this. This Loki is such a it's like he has had his balls cut off. He's so emasculated, and I need that vicious Loki back. I need that driven Loki back.
The Loki with an alternative plan that is always good for him. Like, yes, we're not getting that.
The cliffhanger from last season turned out to be a bit of a nothing burger. Surprise, surprise. The reason why they didn't recognize who he was is because he had actually returned to the past. So it wasn't even another dimension or another timeline branch that he had slipped to. It was just simply the past. And he's just time slipping through the past and the future. I guess the plot, if you can call it that, of the episode was to stop Loki from time slipping and bring him back. And that to me was a complete waste of time to just try and do something with the cliffhanger, which I guarantee you they had no idea where they were going to go from there at the end of season 1.
I would suggest that they wanted to go someplace else. And because of the fact that the show didn't work and John Major was basically gone, they had to improvise this whole new thing, which is why I'm saying this first episode is a Band-Aid episode. Oh, this is why it was problematic. They had to reset the course of the show, and that's why this show was stumbly, incoherent, and they got to bring him back to some level of normalcy so they can proceed with this whole new plan, which we have no idea what it is. And the show does not give us any hint what this whole new plan is. That's the problem. If it had given us a hint as to where we're going to go after this, it would have been way more satisfying.
Well, I mean, he said it himself. We need to find Sylvie. That's the motivation going forward right now. It's Sylvie, because Sylvie is more important to the MCU, more important to Disney Marvel than Loki.
She's at McDonald's serving softie.
She's at McDonald's because they signed a sponsorship deal with McDonald's. Right. And that's true as well. It's sad and true. That's why she's at McDonald's. It's all a sponsorship deal.
I think it's ironic that they had the phone ringing from the Matrix and the Luke's character is Morpheus, right? He's got the same name, and they had the phone ringing.
He's Morbius in this.
Oh, Morbius. Oh, sorry.
I know. Don't worry. then I had a problem because I was like, wait a minute, this guy's called Morbius. Isn't that the name of the vampire dude as well?
Right. Yes. Or maybe he turns into the vampire guy.
So I was so confused in season 1.
So why was the phone ringing right out of the Matrix, and why didn't he answer it?
Dirk Gently.
Oh, that's the reason?
I think we're going to be bouncing through. Right. I'll tell you who's on the phone right now. Well, you know who's on the other side of the phone.
Keanu Reeves?
Sylvie.
Oh, but she was in the elevator.
Yes, because Dirk Gently.
Right. Gotcha.
Because there's gonna be different people at different points in time congregating on the same event to make it happen.
Right.
That's my theory already. Sylvie's on the phone to bring him to that room so that she could then stick in him from behind, take him back into the present so he can then go through a branch to find her in McDonald's,
right,
to then say, you need to save me.
No, he's going to say, can I have a Big Mac?
Dude, this guy, he's having that one of those plant fucking things, all right?
Yeah.
I'll have a plant burger, please.
Meatless.
I would like
burger.
I would like some locusts and some bugs, just random bugs, please.
It's bothersome that Sylvie's the only one who's got agency, and Loki's only agency is to go after Sylvia. It's terrible.
Yes, this is the problem of intersectionality.
Yes.
This was the problem with Ahsoka. Ahsoka was ruined because of intersectionality. They couldn't let Ezra do anything. Even Balin had a great moment in episode 4, I think it was, a great moment where we actually thought, oh, something's going to happen with this guy. No, Balin then lost all of his agency after that. He was simply there to knock. This is what it got reduced down to knock Ahsoka into the water so she could breathe underwater unconsciously for hours while she had a trip about the world between worlds and Anakin. That was it. And it was like, oh, you go fuck off.
Yep. Well, and then they end the entire series with Balin looking over his new holiday property.
I said looking into Mordor.
That's right.
And of course, because Ray Stevenson has, oh God, when I watched your review and you went, Ray Stevenson had to die to get out of the show. And I thought that is so tragic, but yet at the same time true. But he's gone now. So all of there's nothing that can be done with Balin. But it's intersectionality that's ruined everything. Oh, we can't have a man have agency. No. We can't have a man save a woman. Nope. We can't have a man advance on a woman and create some sexual tension or a potential relationship. Nope. Everything has to be initiated by the woman, from saving to relationships to plot. To even Thrawn needs to constantly talk to his dark sisters to defer to the dark sisters. Disney Marvel is destroyed. You took a male-orientated franchise with Star Wars and you turned it into your Disney princess shit. But your Disney princess shit, even in today's day and age, isn't even Disney princess shit.
No.
It's intersectionality.
And the proof of that is the success of Barbie. Barbie is about women. Whatever complaints you have about it, it's a pink movie. And Disney has completely forgot about that. Wait a second. That's actually women being women. And anyway, so Disney is a tiresome corpse of a company.
The West is a tiresome corpse of
civilization,
political ideology. That's what the West is.
The weight of the stupidity of this ideology cannot sustain itself. Now, let's wrap this up because it's a kind of a nothingy show. Yeah, but I kind of, I'm feeling positive about the fact that they're just trying to get it onto the right track, and I didn't feel like it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, I thought it was just wasting time to tie up the cliffhanger to push to the current cliffhanger, which was the important character of the show, Sylvie, who, if I may be so bold, looked rough as fuck at the end. And I thought, Jesus Christ, what's happened to this woman? What has she been through in the last 18 months?
Yeah.
What happened, sweetheart?
Yeah, what happened?
What happened?
She needs some eyeliner.
That's a woman who isn't wearing a lot of makeup. This is what real women look like.
You know what? I
Okay?
think the Night Sister should do a makeover on her.
They have. Look, she's got the black droopy. She's got the black coming.
She's a completely uninteresting character.
Yes, simply there for her genitalia. She's simply there for intersectionality.
Yep.
She doesn't really add to the story. Loki had to tell us in season 1 that she was amazing because we live now in a world of entertainment where it's tell, don't show.
Yes.
Because we're being told that people are doing great things and are amazing and are fantastic, but their actions actually are completely contrarian to that. And so that's why they have to tell us, because it doesn't match.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gaslighting. It's just complete gaslighting across the board.
And you're right. I was worried at the beginning of this episode that there was an awful lot of telling. I went, "Oh my God, is this going to be the entire show?" And it didn't really. It picked up when Ouroboros entered the scene. That's really
short round him.
Short round. Oh, a short round. When he came on, that's kind of when everything picked up for me.
It was one of those, again, sort of Dirk Gently moments, Hitchhiker's moments, where Loki slipping into the past was literally in real time changing his memories.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fine in as much as it was non-offensive and it needed to advance what they were doing. I just don't think what they were doing was particularly interesting in any way.
I guess I'm suffering from Stockholm syndrome. If anything is marginally good, I'm happy.
I don't know if it's that. It's just I didn't think the episode was bad. You know, I don't think it was like horrifically written. I don't think it was horrifically acted. It was fine.
Right.
But I just don't think anything of real interest or import happened. And it all led to this end credit scene, which was the real hero is here now. And now it's time to set everything up for the real hero to be reintroduced to the show and how she will be the key to everything, which she will inevitably be because it's a Disney product.
And the point is that we're just tired of the fine. You take a look at the pilot episode for The Sopranos. Why can't Disney, with all its resources, all its capabilities, access to the finest talent in the world, how come every episode can't be like an episode of The Sopranos?
Because it's ideologically based.
Okay.
And when something is ideologically based, which is in this case, in Disney's case, intersectional, you are taking so much away. You're taking away agency. You're taking away masculinity.
Oh, okay.
You are taking away character development from both male and females, because females must remain stoic. And you're taking away femininity. So it takes it. All intersectionality does is take away, take away, take away. Whereas something like, for instance, the pilot of The Sopranos, a man is acting like a man and a woman is acting like a woman. And therefore, when you just have that basic rudimentary thing in place, normal conversations occur, normal actions occur, things which are logical. When you start to take masculinity away, femininity away, agency away, then you're taking away logic. And so things cannot progress in a logical manner, nor can they feel natural. That is the problem. I was speaking yesterday in my video about the new Robin Hood show. I was speaking about you can make a remake of a classic character and make it interesting. I think the show Elementary did it very well indeed. But they got two really good leads in Miller and in Lucy Liu. Doing Watson. So yes, they gender changed Watson in that, and they race changed Watson in that. But that was an era where intersectionality and identity politics weren't a prevalent thing, where you legitimately thought, well, we're completely playing with the mythos of Holmes here. He's not in London. He's in New York. He's working for the New York Police Department, freelance capacity,
and in a fish out of water capacity also.
Yeah. I mean, he's
A Brit.
He's an Englishman in New York.
Yep.
So you have little things to play with there.
Mhm.
And they wanted to make Joan Watson a little bit more because she was
Right.
going to be a lead as well. So they gave her this very good story with the hospital and everything that happened there and what led her to Holmes and what led her to the connection with Holmes. That ended up being a really interesting show. It was without being cruel, it was a procedural.
Absolutely.
It was a procedural, but things like The Mentalist is a procedural, and The Mentalist was excellent. It was a really fun show as well.
Yep.
But with all the changes they did, they still adhered to logic. Everything was logical. A man was a man and a woman was a woman. There was masculinity, there was femininity, legitimate conversations, true conversations that people would have with each other. There was nobody being subservient to anybody. So you didn't have to have the man always defer to the woman, which is what always happens in shows like this. So you had the natural logical progression, regardless of which way the conversation would go, whether it be Joan putting Holmes in his place or Holmes putting Watson in her place.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't have that. And that's the big difference between taking a beloved character and playing with it, twisting with it, giving it a modern spin. What would it be like if X character lived in today's day and age, even though they're 800 years old? With intersectionality, that just can't happen.
I think that's a great observation. I think that's really keen. As the when you're writing any kind of show, when I'm writing a show, you're trying to fill your crayon box with as many crayons as you possibly can. And I'm not using colors as an intersectional diversity
I know what you
thing.
mean.
You are desperate to try to have as many things in there that allows for branching of ideas. And you're right. It's like Disney management goes to the writers and go, I'm taking this crayon out, this one, you can use these three. That's it. That's all
exactly.
You're exactly right. I think that's a brilliant observation, is that everybody involved are now constrained by the removal of sex, by violence, affection, male agency. All these crayons have been removed. They are not allowed to use them, and now fashion a show from it. You know what? This is a completely different discussion. That's really that's an insightful idea there. I think it's something that I've never thought about, but you're absolutely right. The Disney creatives are left with very few options to fashion their shows from.
I think it's not just Disney. I think it's Hollywood.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's Hollywood in general. The human race is about stories. That's the history of the human race. Cave paintings to the big screen. They're exactly the same thing. They're exactly the same thing. It's just technology allows us to tell it in a more current format, but they're exactly the same thing. It's telling stories, and it's telling stories of events, and it's telling stories of morality. Hollywood is not producing this. So when an independent starts to produce something, because I don't think Silent Night's going to have the biggest budget in the world. I think we'll find it's around 70 to 100 million probably tops. Whereas something like the Marvels is going to be 300 plus by time everything's finished on that.
I think things will sort themselves out because Hollywood has to make money in the end.
Yes, but even if they decided to change right now, we are not going to see it for 3, 4, 5 years.
Correct.
So it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Hey, I've got a screenplay doing the rounds in Hollywood. I'm dressing up like in Bosom Buddies. I've got my complete outfit. So.
Okay, I thought you were going to say I'm dressing up like in Norbert, and I was going to go, my God.
No, I'm not going to go there. Anyways, this was great. Thank you. It's the first time that we've been able to talk to each other one-on-one instead of en masse. And I think you're funny and insightful. And I'm going to think a lot about, this box of crayons concept. Well, if you want, I'll meet you here, same time, same bat channel.
Same time, same bat
Loki
channel.
2.
Yes! Sylvie Boogaloo.
Bye, everyone.
Until then, you take care, everyone. Bye, boo-boo.